Um, for today's trades, we had, I didn't really trade a whole lot. I traded a little bit in the morning, but today was pretty meh. I'm trying to figure out why so I can account for that in the future, but for the most part, you guys know yesterday wasn't, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like a great day or anything. Someone today was somewhat similar. I had two entries, one this morning when um, we had taken out liquidity and entered into this fair value gap, which I didn't label, but I'm pretty sure it was the 1 hour. Must have been 4 hour. So it was a yeah 4 hour fair value gap, and I'm still bearish because this is a daily retrace. If we look here, if you neglect all the arrows and all the drawings, this is a daily retrace unless we come out and take up this high that we've made. But today was a pretty stagnant candle. But I mean, rejection to the downside, filling this fair value gap is making me reconsider. But yeah, that fair value gap right there gives us that was my first entry. I figured it was during New York AM session we had just opened up and we were reacting on the 15 second. So I had an entry just off of an order block right in here that I entered on, and then I got stopped out on this huge candle which made me lose a bunch of money. But I guess I didn't lose a ton there. Where I lost some was right here, where we retraced into this 15 second suspension block. I'll just show it to you on the 15 second. We had the suspension block right here on the the upswing here, which took out I believe it was buy side liquidity. Oh no, that was this afternoon. I'll go over this afternoon in a minute. Um, there was a reason I traded. There's a reason I traded that. Why can't I remember why I traded that? There was a reason why I entered there. I deleted a bunch of my. Oh, I know what it was. It was we have regular trading hours opening range gap, and we were like halfway through um, New York AM session. So I mean, I was a little distracted this morning, but it seemed like a quality entry just for taking shorts. But I've been looking to take shorts for the past 2 days, and they've been pretty meh. And then this afternoon, I was thinking about taking shorts after we um, made this high, and then there's this relative equal buy side liquidity, which I labeled as a possible turtle soup, and I had an alert on that. I was hoping um, that we'd hit that during New York PM, and we didn't. We literally just went stagnant for the entire day, so that was kind of disappointing. Um, I didn't trade at all because we didn't get anything, and I was busy for like the first half of New York PM. Not that anything happened. Um, I feel like the last like week or two have been really great trades. Oh, here, just so I can get rid of these. I made 25 in the morning, getting stopped out at break even, then I lost like 115 in the afternoon. So I'm not like down a whole lot by any means, but it felt like um, it felt like last week there was a bunch of trades where I they would have been really good trades and they had really good entries. I just didn't see them, and I was looking for the wrong thing, or I was overreacting about a small loss while waiting for a bigger entry. Um, it's just stuff like that. And now we're just getting horrible. Now there's just horrible setups. What it looks like to me is we had this one valid trade here, but we had also bottomed out on the daily the day before, which gave me, I talked about this yesterday, but it gave me the idea that maybe we'd be bullish, even though I ended up shorting the next day. But there was no good entry on this day. This downward move happened in between New York AM and New York PM, so that wasn't kind of worth it. I was looking through the past few days, I want to say the past week or two earlier this afternoon, and yeah, I don't know. I've been this was a valid trade for taking shorts. I've been taking shorts because the daily trend is bearish, and there's no reason to try and predict a reversal. And I've been and then there was no good trade here. I lost money there. I was hoping that we'd come up for a retrace today and then expand to the downside. But what it looks like almost is that we expanded up on the 1 hour. We had a market structure shift. On the 4 hour, we had a market structure shift. The only place we haven't had a market structure shift is the daily, which I don't know if that's more telling that we're gonna. Oh, I guess we'll know tomorrow. So I think overnight, if we end up filling this wick, and then I feel like we'd then have a greater opportunity to expand to the downside. If we don't do that, I think it'll be pretty obvious within like the first couple minutes of open if we're gonna go up and take out this high and create a daily market structure shift, in which case we would then look to take, I mean, we're gonna enter back into this range that we've been in, which would kind of suck, but I mean, we got highs in here, we got one here, one here. These are relative equal highs up here. This may be a good target. Just these highs right in here, that buy side liquidity on the daily, maybe something to look at. We have this high up here, and then it looks like relative equal all-time highs. Um, I think that's probably what I'm looking at right now. I think tomorrow will tell us a lot. But yeah, no, today and yesterday were pretty shit. Um, uh, which kind of just reminds me of the importance of catching the valuable trades when they show up and not overreacting to little mistakes and just allowing us to move forward. But this was our last valid trade. Was this right here in the afternoon? Was this trade? Which happened in New York game session, which was a valid trade that we could have taken. And then since then we haven't really had much. There was this morning, but I didn't really see that as not this morning, yesterday, but I didn't really see that as anything valid. And then there was this today, but I didn't see a valid entry on this. Maybe this is Bitcoin. Hang on. Um, maybe MES did something better this morning. No, nothing better. So I don't really know exactly what we're gonna do from here. I think we've been in a unfortunate range for the past for yesterday and today, and so I'd like to see that get changed. This turtle soup down here, in case any of you are curious, I think is, yeah, it was this hourly. I just thought it was a turtle soup because we came down for a very high time frame retrace. If you look at this expansion, we came down, hit equilibrium, had a turtle soup, and then expanded to the upside is kind of what it looks like. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't really have much of a bias for tomorrow, unfortunately. I think I'm looking at what could be, um, I don't know. I think I'm looking at what could be a bullish recognition for tomorrow, and we could take longs or we could take shorts. I think it's just going to depend. What I'm really hoping for is to get a revisit back into what we've been doing. So, like, if you notice today, we didn't sweep anything before having this move up. We swept these really low time frame lows. Yesterday, we swept these highs, but then this move wasn't during a session. What I really want to get back to is like even this move, we had a turtle soup of this previous day high sweep, and then a reversal down before we then continued the larger trend that we had just started to the upside. And the day before that, we had great trades. There was this great trade just before New York AM, right at open. We went up, hit the 50% of this wick, swept out this relative buy side liquidity, had a perfect entry, and we could have taken that for the entire day. Um, like I'm missing these kinds of trades that we had. So I'm hoping we can get more into that. I'm definitely I think besides looking for that, which isn't really up to me, that's more to the market. Um, the one thing that I want to see more of, at least for myself, is uh, that that I don't kind of enter off of nothing. I think I want to like before I start trading, because I start looking for a trade right around to open, maybe 7:45 or 9:45 Eastern time. That's kind of when I start looking for a trade. Sometimes there's ones that I'll take at 7:30, but or 9:30 Eastern time, but that depends. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna try and find like a specific level that I'm looking for a reaction off of in New York AM session, and then I'll do the same thing for PM session. And I think I'm gonna see if I can use that and just wait for a sweep of that level and only enter off of that. So then we get maybe 2 entries a day, but they're both during specific hours and both looking for very specific things. But I'm gonna see if I can develop a bias for tomorrow, depending on based on overnight action. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's kind of it for me today. Um, Also, London session last night was pretty horrible. There was nothing here. Like, it was pretty just stagnant. Not only in London session did we not sweep anything, but we kind of just did nothing. And then it was pretty just, it wasn't very volatile, I guess. And then this afternoon was horrible after this early move. I know there's geopolitical conflicts and whatnot, and that could be adding to it. But yeah, I think that's a lot of what I'm looking for. And I'll let you all know how it goes tomorrow. I'll be back with a video, but I'm gonna go ahead and make another video tonight. Someone was asking about chart colors and candle colors and boxes and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over that in the next video. But that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow.